Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I am your host, your host, and as usual, in the ghost mode, Mohit Jain. And as said, we would be continuing with our sample questions must do before examination. Mind it. And it is for the company, which is L&T's group's company called MINDTREE. As far as the examination pattern is concerned, they are asking what we have seen in this January 2022 drive. 49 questions. 49 questions are there, out of which 45 are from aptitude, English, quantitative aptitude, and logical thinking, 15 each. And I guess the time they have given was overall 2 hours. In 2 hours, we need to answer these 45 questions, and out of 4 questions, I guess only 2 of the codings were supposed to be done. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe like all 4 were supposed to be done, but I'm pretty sure that at least 2 was there, which for which you need all test cases pass, at least something like that. So 49 questions, 45 are from aptitude, English communication, maths, and logical thinking. So in this particular session, I have taken a few sample questions which are same as they have actually asked, but with each question, as said, we would be discussing theory attached to it, and we would be discussing other kind of problems also which can be asked based on that particular concept. So be ready with your pen and paper, try to pause the session, do it yourself, and please make proper notes of the theory which we would be discussing with each questions. So let's begin now. So to start with, we have questions from ratio proportion, and as said, it is not a chapter to learn. It is a rule to understand, because in any kind of question, a ratio proportion, a ratio thing would be there. So again, I'll suggest you go through rule 1 to rule 9 of arithmetic. The playlist is there on the first screen of the channel, and the link of all the rules are there in the description. So please don't mind going through it. It would be really helpful. Let's see what we have here. B and J are sisters who get a total of 1 lakh every month as salary. B gets 60% of the total salary that J gets. So if J is getting 10, B will get 6. So the ratio of their salary would be 3:5. Now we can very easily find the monthly salary. So salary of B would be 3/8 of 1 lakh, and 4 times 2, 4 is 25,000, so it would be 12,500 into 3 is 37,500, and J should get 5/8 of 1 lakh. That is 12,500 into 5, that would be 62,500. Now we can also check that 62,500, 60% is 37,500. B gets 60% of the total salary that J gets. These are the actual. We have calculated it by converting into ratios and with help of proportion. Now, be careful in reading the question what they are asking. This was a very hilarious question. Options given were 62,500, 37,500, and something like maybe 50,000, and none of the above. Question is, what is the annual salary that J gets? This is what we have calculated is monthly salary. This is monthly salary. We want annual salary of J. Nothing is given, then it is obviously assumed that J have worked for 12 months. So it should be 62500 into 12. Mind it, don't mark on 62500. that is monthly salary. Since 62500 into 12 is not given, we are supposed to mark on none of the above. But if it is given that what is the monthly salary, then it is 62,500. If it is annual salary, we need to multiply by 12 and then answer. So be cautious and read the question carefully and then accordingly answer it. Okay, this one is one of my favorite from mixtures, cost price, selling price, and again a ratio. In what ratio should a vendor mix water with milk to gain X percent on selling the mixture at cost price? I have deliberately taken it as X percent because if we know the concept, whatever be the percentage, we can accordingly find the answer. See, if an impurity is mixed with pure thing and it is being sold at CP of pure thing, then the ratio of impurity by pure thing is always taken as X by 100, where X is the percentage gain. As simple as that. Let's take up some value for X and try to see. Suppose the question is what ratio should the vendor mix water with milk to gain 25% on selling the mixture at cost price? We know if we imply the formula, answer is directly 25 by 100, that is 1:4. That means water should be 1 part and the pure milk should be 4 part. Suppose the cost of pure milk is 20 rupees or 10 rupees. And cost of water is freely available. Yes, impurity should be here freely available. Since nothing is given about the cost of the impure thing, we will always assume it to be freely available. Then we have a mixture of 5 liter whose cost is actually 40. Fine. Now, this mixture is sold at 10 rupees only. That means selling price gathered is 50 rupees. Now how much is the gain? Gain is 50 minus 40, that is 10 rupee. And how much is the gain percentage? You will see that 10 by 40 is 25%. Please follow this formula directly. In what ratio should a vendor mix water and milk to gain something like 12.5%? On selling the mixture at cost price? It is simply just find 12.5 by 100, that is 1 by 8. Answer would be 1:8. Remember this and just do it in 4, 5, 10 seconds. As said, out of 15 questions, you will find at least 4 to 5 questions which are only asking about ratios and mixtures and average. These are the bloodline of arithmetic, isn't it? Rule 1 to rule 9, killer rules are there. Just go through it. Tea worth rupees 300 per kg and tea worth rupees 200 per kg are mixed with third variety, let it be rupees X per kg, in the ratio 1:2:3. The price of this mixture is rupees 250 per kg. What is the price per kg of the third variety of tea? Obviously, we would be doing like this. Just simply multiply, divide by the total of weight, and that should be equals to 250. Let us take 1 kg, 2 kg, and 3 kg because the ratio is 1:2:3. Just take it like that. 300 into 1 is 300. 200 into 2 is 400. X into 3 is 3x. So sum total of this should be equals to 250 into total of weights into 6. That is 1500. So 3x is 1500 minus 700. That is 800. So x would be 800 by 3 rupees. These kind of questions per kg, rupees per kg. Price per kg of the third variety of tea would be 800 by 3. These kind of questions are very popular in MINDTREE examination, and you might find similar kind of question where data would be different, ratio would be different, we need to know how to do this. Two questions from interest, simple interest or compound interest, out of 15, for sure. And this kind of question are now becoming very popular, where different interest rates are charged for different years, and then they may ask you what would be the amount or what would be the interest collected, blah, blah, blah. A man gets interest of rupees X for 9 years. This is the total interest collected in 9 years. The rates he has to pay varied as follows. And if nothing is given, it is always assumed to be simple interest one. But it should be given actually. It is on simple interest. Suppose first 3 years it was A%. Now how to do this quickly is just multiply the number of years with the percentage. So in 3 years, you have gathered 3A%. For the next 4 years, it was B%. So total interest collected is 4B%. And for the last 2 years, it was C%. Total interest collected is 2C%. That means, suppose principal invested was A into 3A plus 4B plus 2C by 100. This is the percentage of all the 9 years. This should be equals to total interest collected. Simple interest is given, that is rupees X. What was the amount that he has invested in the beginning? Amount invested in the beginning is X into 100 divided by 3A plus 4B plus 2C. That's it. Now you can put in any values and find. Suppose a man gets interest of 5400 for 9 years. First 3 years he gets interest of 8%, then 10%, then 12%. Then what will be the A? A would be 5400 into 100 divided by 3A. A into 3 is 24, plus 4 into 10 is 40, plus 2 into 12 is 24. So here we are getting 88. You just divide by 88. Or let us make an easy sense with 88 if I take is the interest collected. Then it will be 10000. That means 10,000 rupees was invested. And if you do now calculation on 10,000, you will get 8800 interest, simple interest for 9 years. One or two questions from the modern mathematics, permutation and combination. And many a times I've seen that they are asking permutation combination in the way of formulas. So I thought of discussing two formulas. In how many ways can 0 or more thing, that means 1, 0, or in how many ways something can be done at taking any number at a time, can be selected. Selection means it's a combination question from n identical objects and different objects. First, let me talk about different objects. If we have got n different objects, then in how many ways we can select 0 or more thing? That would be taken 0 at a time, or 1 at a time, or 2 at a time, or all at a time. So if there are n different objects, we can select 0 or more things in NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 till NCn ways, and this is nothing but 2 to the power n. And if they ask in how many ways can you select one or more things, if it is one or more, then this factor NC0 will not come into picture. It would be simply NC1, NC2 till NCn. In that case, formula would be 2 to the power n minus 1. This is for different objects. But we have identical objects. In case of identical objects, we can select 0 or more times in n plus 1 ways. Suppose I have got 3 triangles. All are similar. All are identical. In how many ways I can select none? In one way. That is, selecting no thing is always in one way we can do nothing. In how many ways we can select one triangle at a time? Either you select triangle this or this or this, and any time you will end up selecting the same triangle. So that's why you call it only one way. In how many ways you can select two at a time? Either you select these two, or these two. Whenever you will select and see what you have selected, you will end up seeing that you have selected the same two triangles. Then again, you will call it one way. Similarly, if I ask you to select all three, you will say in one way only I can select it. So if we have three triangles, we can see that total 4 ways we can do selection, selecting 0 or more thing at a time. So if we have n identical objects, we will find that in n plus 1 ways, we would be able to select it in 0 or more times. If it is given 1 or more times, then it would be simply n plus 1 minus 1 ways. That will account to n ways. So please remember these formulas. They, majority of the time from combination permutation question, they ask question where you are supposed to mark on the formulas to be used. Taking one more on this is regarding permutation, or let us see. Form a group. From a group of n different objects, r objects are taken at a time in which k particular objects are always included, k particular things are always excluded. In how many ways can this be done? This is again a case of combination, not permutation, sorry. We have got n different objects. We need to select r at a time. Now we have got two cases. First is k objects always included. In case of always included, please take k out from it. So now you have got only n minus k left, and out of this you need to select r minus k, given that obviously k is less than r. So in how many ways you can select r minus k objects from n minus k? Is n minus k c r minus k. When k objects are always included, this is the formula we use, n minus k c r minus k. And the second case, if k things are always excluded, that means ask these k things to stay away from you. That means out of n, you are left with only n minus k items, but you are still to select r items from it. In this case, formula will become n minus k c r. It is always excluded, ask him to stay away, you are left with only n minus k item, out of which select r. They have covered like entire vast varieties of question on these 15 questions. 2 questions from time, speed and distance is fine, fair enough. Before we move into the question, few things. Speed is equals to distance by time. 1 kilometer per hour is equivalent to 5 by 18 meter per second. 1000 meter by 60 into 60 if we will do, will end up getting 5 by 18 meter per second. And the third concept of effective speed, everyone call it relative speed, it is always effective speed. That's it. A train traveling at 162 km per hour overtakes a motorbike traveling at 20 meter per second in 50 seconds. Whenever this time unit is in second, it's always judicious to convert your speed into MPS. So first 162 kph would be 162 into 5 by 18, 18, 10, 180, this is 9. That is 45 meter per second. Done. So train speed is 45 meter per second, mobike speed is 20 meter per second, and they are crossing each other in 50 seconds. What is the length of the train? Whenever a train is crossing a moving object which has got no length, in this case, a motorbike will have no length of its own, normally. Then, the time taken to cross would be length of the train divided by effective speed. Yes. Now, how to find the effective speed? Effective speed we need to calculate with the direction in which these two moving bodies are moving. If both are traveling in same direction, effective speed of same direction is S1 minus S2 because both are moving in same direction. And effective speed of opposite direction is S1 plus S2 if they are moving towards each other or opposite to each other. That's it. So here S1 is 45 and S2 is 20. So first case, what is the length of the train? If the motorbike is traveling in the same direction as the train, if they are moving in same direction as the train, the effective speed would be 45 minus 20. That is 25. And time taken is 50 seconds. So 50 into 25 is the length of the train. In this case, train length is 1250 meters. In second case, the motorbike is traveling in the opposite direction. That means they are moving towards each other. If they are moving towards each other, the effective speed towards moving towards each other to speed would increase actually. So here the effective speed would be 45 plus 20, that is 65 meter per second. In this case, length of the train would be 50 into 65. Now whatever it is, 0, 5, 2, 30, 32. It is an impossible case, 3.2 kilometer long train, but just concentrate on the format. Please follow this. In case a train is crossing a moving body which have got no length, time is equals to length of the train by effective speed, or length of the train is time to cross into effective speed. You just calculate effective speed with help of the direction of movement. If both are moving in same direction, effective speed is difference of the two, and if both are moving in opposite direction or towards each other, then the effective speed would be sum of the speeds. Talking further on effective speed, let's see this question. It takes 90 seconds for a train to pass a station. Now here what we have one moving body and one stationary body. Whenever we have one moving body and one stationary body, there is no concept of effective speed because only one body is moving. So in that case, time will be equals to L1 plus L2 divided by speed of the moving one only. Let the length of the moving body is L1 and there is length of the stationary object, that is L2. And what can be these things? This can be a platform or a road or a station or a bridge, anything which is not moving but obviously got some length. Let's see the situation. It takes 90 seconds for a train to pass a station of L1 meter length. That means 90 equals L1 is the length of the platform or the station plus length of the train, let me take it as L, divided by speed, that is S of the train. And 120 seconds to cross a station of length L2 meter. Another equation would be 120 equals L2 plus L and speed is S. Now L2 is greater than L1 obviously, that's why it is taking more time. What is the length of the train? We need to find the value of L. These kind of question you can see that this S is of no use because if I divide these two equations, I'll get 90 by 120 equals L1 plus L upon L2 plus L. We can find the ratio 33 and 4. Okay, we can end up getting the result with help of componendo dividendo also if you want to do. So L1 plus L2 plus 2L, that would be tedious job. Let's just solve it and find the value of L. 3L2 plus 3L equals 4L1 plus 4L. Therefore, L is 3L2 minus 4L1 in this case. And you need to just identify the option where you get this. Length of the train is 3L1 minus 3L2 minus 4L1. Done. Whatever be the seconds, find the ratios. 90 by 120, or if this is A, this is B, this will be A by B, equals L1 plus L upon L2 plus L. Then length of L would be, cross it up, AL2 minus BL1, and here it would be 4 minus 3, that is B minus A. Yes, na? So accordingly, you find the answer. In all different sets of MINDTREE, what we have seen, at least one question from arithmetic progression or geometric progression. Here I have taken up an arithmetic progression question, and we follow the drills for arithmetic progression. If first term is A and common difference is D, then any term is given by A plus n minus 1 into D, and sum of term is given by n into 2 n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or n by 2 into first term and last term. Basic formulas, if we know, we can solve these questions in no time. Bunny has planted 4 orange saplings on his farm at an interval of 2 years. The total age of these are 24 years. What is the age of the youngest sapling on his farm? So if youngest sapling is A, the second youngest would be A plus 2, A plus 4, A plus 6, and then you can add up to 24 and you can find the value of A. 4A equals 24 minus 12, that is A is 3, the youngest sapling is of 3 years. Or if you mind using arithmetic progression, then also you can calculate. 24 equals n is 4 by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 is 3 and d is 2 years. 3 into 2 is 6. 2, 12. 12 minus 6 is 6 equals 2a. A is equals to 3 years again. So the age of youngest is 3 years. You see, these were for 4 years. That's why it's very easy for us to calculate. If 10, 12, 20 saplings are there, instead of 4, it is given 40. And this total is given something. So in that case, using formula would be a wise choice to find these kind of answers. How I can not do this particular question in any of the sample question sessions I am doing. I've done it in previous sample session also. And this is regarding ratio. The relationship between time and speed when distance to be covered is same. They are inversely related to each other. Inversely related. That means what? If time ratio is given as T1 is to T2 is to T3, then speed ratio is nothing but inverse ratio of time ratio. If time ratio is given, speed ratio is inverse ratio of time ratio, and if speed ratio is given, time ratio is inverse ratio of speed ratio. The ratio of time taken by 3 cars to cover a particular distance is 6, 12, 18. First mind this and check whether this is in a perfect ratio format or not. Perfect ratio format means SCF of these 3 numbers should be 1. Here we can see that it's divisible by 6. We can write this as 1 is to 2 is to 3. So actually time ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 3 to cover a particular distance. What will be the ratio of speed? So ratio of speed is inverse ratio of 1 is to 2 is to 3. And what is the easiest process? SST process, Sundar Sasta Tikau process to find the speed ratio, which is the inverse ratio of 1 is to 2 is to 3. Hide 1, multiply the rest, 6. Hide 2, multiply the rest, 3. Hide 3, multiply the rest, 2. This is the easiest way to find inverse ratio. You will find many examples which I have solved using inverse ratio in Rule 5. Go through Rule 5, as said, aptitude, Rule 1 to Rule 9. So in this case, answer is 6 is to 3 is to 2. So if time ratio is given, find inverse ratio to get the speed ratio. If speed ratio is given, find inverse ratio to get the time ratio, and only this will be done when distance covered is same. Now is turn of time and work. Yes, we have seen 2 questions at least from time and work, and the rule to rule time and work is Rule 8. Link is there in the description. Please go through it. Amit can do 2/5 of the work in 6 days. Amit, 2/5 in 6 days. Always in these kind of question, convert it into one fraction, that is 100%. That means Amit would be doing the entire work in 6 into 5 by 2, that is 15 days. Bunny can do 1/3 of the work in 10 days. That means Bunny can do the full work in 10 into 3, 30 days. This is their individual time to complete the full work working alone. If Amit and Bunny work together, then how much time they will take to do 4/5 of the work? Again, here we know the drill. If we know the time taken by A and time taken by B to do some work individually, then time taken by both of them would be nothing but product of their time divided by the sum of their time. You'll find all these short formulas in Rule 8. So here, if A and B are working together, they would take 15 into 30 by 30 plus 15, that is 45, that is 10 days. It goes 3 times and this is 10. That means A and B completes the entire work working together in 10 days. Then in how many days they would be completing 4/5 of the work? For 4/5 they would require 8 days, and then work out accordingly. Go through Rule 8 to dwell deeper into these kind of questions. Again, a question is taken from time and work to show you how useful is our masala formula. Again from Rule 8. It says that M1 D1 H1 MDH MDH masala by W1 is equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2, where M stands for workforce in group 1, D days, H hours, and W is the work done by this workforce. M2 stands for workforce, D and H are time, and W stands for work done by this particular workforce. If even different kind of workforce are given, we need to make sure that the efficiencies of these two work groups are first equivalent. That's it. And if no variable is given in the entire question, we will take it as 1. 72 men can build a wall of 280 meter. So this is M1, this is W1. In 21 days. We are given only days, no hours are mentioned. So from the formula, we will delete the hours, taking it as 1, 1. And then the formula to be used would be M1 D1 by W1 equals M2 D2 by W2. How many men you need to build? M2 require. Nothing is given about the efficiency of the men, so it is always assumed that all men are equally efficient. That is the drawback of the formula, because it always assumes that efficiencies of these men are same. To build a similar type of wall of length, that means W2 is 100 meter, in time is given 18 days. Bingo. We just need to remember this. 72 into 21 by 280 equals M2 into 18 by W2, that is 100. We just need to solve and find. 7, 3, 7, 4, 3 gone here, 6, 6 is 12, and this is 3. And so now M2 equals 3 into 10, that is 30. So 30 men would be required to build the same type of wall of 100 meter in 18 days. Do remember this formula, go through rule 8, masala formula, and try to solve. In this particular example, I have just taken a statement and we would be discussing that what can be asked. There are 498 wheels in the vehicles in a garage that contains both cars and motorbikes. Now, suppose this is given. The total number of cars and motorbikes, if it is 150, then how many cars are there? How many motorbikes are there? We can see that we can frame equation and solve this. Car will have 4 wheels and motorbike 2 wheels. That means 4c plus 2m equals 498, or 2c plus m is 249, and it is also known as c plus m is equals to 150. If we solve this, if I subtract, I'll get c equals 299 and m will be 150 minus 99, that would be 51. Now we can check. C are 99, therefore number of tires required 99 into 4, 396. M are 51, number of wheels required 202, total is 498. Bingo. We can solve this taking or framing linear equation and we can find the answer. We have got one more method to do this, that is by using rule 6 butterfly diagram. If you are comfortable with this, you may also end up using this. 498 wheels we have, or let us start with number of vehicles we have, 150. If all vehicles are cars, then we should have 150 into 4, that means 600 wheels. And if all 150 are motorbikes, we should have 150 into 2, that is 300 wheels, but we have 498 wheels. Now we use the alligation butterfly process. 600 minus 498 is 102, and 300 and 498 difference is 198. So that will be 99 is to 51. Here straight away we can see. Now divide 150 in the ratio of 99 into 51, you will get number of cars are 99 and number of motorbikes are 51. You can use any one of this process to find this. Now I'm back to the same data, and here as said we would be discussing what different kind of question can be asked. Suppose it is asked, there are 498 wheels in the vehicle in a garage that contains both cars with 4 wheels and motorbikes with 2 wheels. What is the maximum number of vehicles we can have? And what is the minimum number of vehicles we should have? That means we are left with only one equation, that is 4c plus 2m equals 498, or 2c plus m equals to 249. We need to find the maximum and minimum value of c plus m. To solve these kind of question, there is a simple trick. First see that what you can make 0 here, so that you can maximize the value of c plus m. So if let me take cm and c plus m. If I make c equals to 0, then m would be 249 and c plus m would be 249. That would be the maximum value. Clear? Make that 0 which have got the coefficient, higher coefficient. Now, how to get the second value? It's very simple. Start reducing the value of m by the coefficient of c. Coefficient of c is 2. So if I reduce motorbikes by 2, we will have 247 motorbikes, and increase C by coefficient of M, that is 1. You will see. If C is 1, M is 247, we will have 248 vehicles. I'm repeating again. Increase C by 1 and reduce M by 2. You will find that every time it is fitting up in this equation, because we need to clear this up that M and C both are integers. We cannot have these M and C in fractions. That you understand. We cannot have half car or half mobile. So now here 2 plus 245 is 247. Similarly, how long you would be going further is try to make M 0. If I make M equals to 0, C would be 249 by 2, that is 124.5. We cannot have half a car with us, so C would be restricted to 124. So when C is 124, M is equals to 1, total would be 125. This is the range. C plus M will lie between 125 to 249. You can have any number of C plus M, any number of vehicle in this garage, but it cannot be less than 125. It cannot be more than 249. C plus M should lie between 125 to 249. Now if they ask about the maximum and the minimum value, maximum number of vehicle in this garage would be 249 and minimum number of vehicles in this garage would be 125. Please stick to this coefficient conversion method to solve the given equation. Okay, moving to the last sample question from MINDTREE in this particular session. I hope if you have reached till this point, please do subscribe to the channel, help it grow, share it with your friends so that they can also solve these kind of questions which are regularly featuring on MINDTREE assessment online aptitude test. This is about the fractions. Two numbers x and y are in the ratio 3:5. That means x upon y is 3 by 5. I can take the common ratio as a. I can also call it 3a by 5a. If 13 is subtracted from each of the number, minus 13, then the new numbers are in the ratio 10:21. Now we can solve this, find the value of a, and then we can get our actual numbers. 63a minus 21 into 13 equals 50a minus 13 into 10. 63 minus 50a is 13a equals, if I take 13 common, 21 minus 10, gone, a is 11. So my x is, not my x, the value of x is 3 into 11, that is 33. And y is 5 into 11, that is 55. These are the two numbers. Now, whatever question they ask, you may answer. I haven't asked you the question. Question may be, what would be the ratio of the new numbers formed if 5 is added to it? So, what would be the ratio of x plus 5 upon y plus 5? You can find 38 by 60. The ratio would be 19 by 30. Or what would be the new ratio is 5 is subtracted from it. You can do anything once you have these values. That's why I have only taken up the statement. Now let them ask what they want. 33 minus 5 is 28 and this is 50. In this case it would be 14:25. So do keep on practicing this. Please go through rule 1 to rule 9. Links of all the rules are there in the description below, and on the screen of the channel also you will find the playlist of the rule book. Go through it. It will help you in any aptitude exam. Believe me, any company, any aptitude exam, that is must. You must go all the rules. So thank you everyone for participating. Please help the channel grow. Do subscribe to the channel. Do like it. Comment whatever you want. Whatever doubt you have, I'll try to solve it for you. On this note, I'm Mohit Jain signing off from MJ's Maths and Stats at the MJ Magic Studio to you. I just hope that I'll see you soon. Thank you everyone.